Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kayce Dutton's spinoff guarantees that one notable aspect of Yellowstone will continue. Kayce Dutton's Yellowstone spinoff guarantees a core aspect of the original will continue in Luke Grimes' offshoot. Taylor Sheridan's flagship neo-Western drama ended in December 2024 with the events of Yellowstone Season 5. The outing saw the death of Kayce's father, John Dutton IV, Kevin Costner, who was killed over his actions to halt the airport and development complex that Market Equities intended to build on the governor's ranch in the Paradise Valley. Despite Yellowstone's ending, Kayce's story will continue in a spinoff. By selling the Dutton Ranch at the end of Yellowstone Season 5, Kayce preserved his father's dream of keeping their family's heirloom whole. The property had been in the Dutton family tree for over a century, but Kayce sold it to Thomas Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, and the Broken Rock tribe to protect it. With the difficult decision, Kayce honored his ancestors' wish to keep the Yellowstone Ranch intact, despite passing on its stewardship. In Dutton's spinoff, a procedural on, Kayce will maintain another key aspect of the family legacy. Contrasting his liberating decision to quit the Livestock Commission in Yellowstone Season 5 finale, Kayce will return to the line of fire. Description confirmed Kayce's Yellowstone spinoff, called Why? Marshals, will have a law enforcement focus. With the Yellowstone Ranch behind him, Dutton joins an elite unit of U.S. Marshals, combining his skills as a cowboy and Navy SEAL to bring range justice to Montana, where he and his teammates must balance family, duty, and the high psychological cost that comes with serving as the last line of defense in the region's war on violence. The logline verifies that, despite Kayce leaving the office of Livestock Commissioner, Dutton will continue to combine his experience as a Navy SEAL and a rancher to seek justice against violence surrounding cattle and land in Montana. The description of Why? Marshals fits the news that Kayce Dutton's new Yellowstone spinoff will be a first for the franchise, as a procedural for CBS. Notwithstanding allegedly wanting to put danger behind him, brutality will undoubtedly surround Kayce in the spinoff, with the note that psychological cost comes with his role in the region's war on violence. While Kayce being back on an elite team makes sense, the development also causes some pause, since Kayce Dutton hated violence on the Yellowstone Ranch more than anyone. When John Dutton finally convinced Kayce to take over the ranch's operations for a brief time, Kayce Dutton was determined to run the ranch differently than his father and the ranch's foreman, Ritwheeler, Cole Hauser, who resorted to violent tendencies to keep the business in check. When tasked with the same obstacles as his predecessors, Kayce found peaceful solutions, such as saving Walker, Ray and Bingham, from the train station. In the end, Kayce's shift away from violence is what saves him and his sister, Beth Kelly Riley, from the hostility that comes with protecting the family's land. By selling the Yellowstone Ranch to the Broken Rock tribe, Kayce Dutton fulfilled Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone prophecy spelled out in 1883, relinquishing the land to the Native Americans like his ancestor, James Dutton, Tim McGraw, promised. With the decision, Kayce opted to free himself from the task of protecting the ranch, but he would be right back in the thick of danger in his new career. Yellowstone established that Kayce would be thrust into threatening situations not of his choosing, regardless of his allegiance. Perhaps his ally. Marshall's work will be better for Kayce, since he presumably opts into the role and can protect all of Montana with a badge to support his cause, ideally bringing his keen morality to the role. Regardless, it sounds like Kayce's job will continue to test his connection to Monica, Kelsey Asbill, like it did in Yellowstone. The show's description notes he and his teammates must balance family with the high-stakes work that will comprise the meat of finally sets on Yellowstone. Fans won't be left in silence. A new chapter is already stirring in the windswept Montana dust, and it bears the name Kayce Dutton. As one of the most morally conflicted and emotionally resonant characters in Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western epic, Kayce stepping into his own spin-off isn't just inevitable, it's essential. But the show's greatest promise isn't simply more of Kayce's brooding silences or horseback philosophies. No, what it guarantees above all else is that Yellowstone's soul, its raw, untamed emotional realism, will live on. From the very first season, Yellowstone established itself not merely as a drama about land disputes, family legacies, or cowboy shootouts. It was, and still is, a portrait of a way of life, brutal, beautiful, unrelenting. And at the heart of that beating wilderness has always been a clash of identities. Modern man versus ancient land, tradition versus change, survival versus sacrifice. Kayce Dutton is the embodiment of that battle, walking the tightrope between his loyalty to his family and his vision for a different kind of future. In many ways, Kayce's journey has been the moral compass of Yellowstone, even when that compass has spun wildly. Unlike his sister Beth's scorched earth vengeance or his father John's patriarchal control, Kayce represents something quieter, more human. He's not looking to conquer the land or destroy his enemies. He's trying to live. He's trying to figure out how to raise a son in a world where bullets are currency and justice rides on horseback. He's trying to protect love in a world that rewards isolation. His struggle is universal, even if his setting is uniquely rugged. And that's exactly what his spin-off will preserve. The grounded emotional realism that made Yellowstone different from anything else on television. Think back to Kayce's earliest days on the show. A Navy SEAL haunted by war, a husband and father drifting on the margins of a powerful family dynasty, a man at odds with the very soil that once raised him. His life wasn't just another subplot. It was a reflection of the American spirit in conflict with itself. His story gave Yellowstone weight and vulnerability. When he moved back to the ranch, torn between duty and disgust, he forced viewers to ask themselves, how far would I go for family? What would I compromise to survive? In a genre often dominated by stoic heroism or black and white morality, Kayce offered something else: doubt. His hesitation to pull the trigger, literal or metaphorical, is what grounded the show. His connection to Monica, rooted in love but frayed by cultural tensions and trauma, brought nuance to an otherwise frontier-tough narrative. His son Tate symbolized hope, fragile, fleeting, and always under threat. These relationships weren't just plot devices. They were the emotional threads holding the entire story together. A Kayce-led spin-off ensures that this delicate, introspective strand of storytelling continues. And there's no shortage of terrain to explore. If Yellowstone is a show about defending the past, then Kayce's spin-off could be about redefining the future. Where his father fought to preserve the ranch at any cost, Kayce may ask, is this land worth preserving if it only breeds violence? He might break from the cycle of revenge and power that defined his lineage. He might try to find peace in a place that has never known it. And he'll almost certainly be forced to decide which traditions are worth keeping and which must finally be buried. Just imagine the possibilities. Perhaps the spin-off follows Kayce and Monica as they try to start anew, far from the Dutton land, only to find that history travels like a shadow. Or maybe Kayce inherits the ranch, not by choice, but by necessity, and must become the leader he never wanted to be, attempting to heal a place that has always bled. Or maybe the show ventures deeper into native territory, exploring Kayce's ties to Monica's heritage, a culture often marginalized in Yellowstone, but ripe with potential for deeper storytelling. No matter the direction, the spin-off's true promise lies in emotional honesty. Sheridan has always written with a fearless eye for consequence. In his world, actions echo, sometimes years later. Choices carve scars, and love is never easy. It's a fight, often quiet but always hard. Kayce's story, more than any other, embodies that ethic. His every decision weighs heavy, his every loss cuts deep. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, it matters. In a television landscape littered with antiheroes and spectacle, Kayce's spinoff offers something increasingly rare: reflection. It gives viewers space to think, to feel, to reckon with moral ambiguity without being spoon-fed answers.